Hi, this is Sarah from Funna Cosplay, and I was asked to do a tutorial on how I did my Fu Manchu mustache for my Toki cosplay, and I thought, why not just make it an entire makeup video? So yes, here is a makeup video tutorial for Toki Wartooth from Metalocalypse, and also crepe hair mustache tutorial.
My face is naturally really red, so I start off using a green concealer. The Ben Nye foundation and concealer palette look exactly the same, so I accidentally used concealer all over my face for this part. But you guys should definitely use foundation whenever you do it. And I usually use the Ultra Beige Ben Nye foundation. I'm applying the foundation with my fingers only because the makeup sponges were nowhere to be found, so it's a good idea to apply foundation with a makeup sponge. For contouring, I'm using Ben Nye Espresso. I'm putting the cheek contouring much higher than I usually would because most of the characters in the show have extremely high cheekbones.
For when you quench your bloodthirst, others will seek vengeance on you, and they won't rest until you're dead. They'll have their check, pipe check, hammer check, axe check, subject check, location check, desire check.
Toki's nose is much wider than my nose, so I'm creating that shape by contouring the sides of my nose as wide as I can without going into my eye. Remember to keep the line straight even when going over the curve of your nostril. To highlight, I'm using Ben Nye's Fairest. A really good way to figure out where to highlight when doing makeup for Toki is to look at the opening scene. This also works for any of the other characters that are featured in the opening scene as well. Here's a picture of what I'm talking about. Highlighting the brow to make it more defined is very important. This is where I realized I used concealer all over my face. I'm using a dark brown ashy eyeshadow to create the shadow around my eyes. I like to make the shadow start at my eyebrow and create a very straight, square shape on that side. Use a thin angled brush in the same brown eyeshadow to define forehead lines. Wrinkle your forehead and trace out the natural lines that are there. You can do as many as you want, but probably not all of them. Make sure that the lines are a variety of lengths and don't forget to blend them out. Don't forget to darken your jawline, and I used a tip from one of Crazer Spoon's videos that if you push your head into your neck, it makes it really easy to see what you need to blend out. I don't really like how warm the tones are when using the contouring foundation, so I'm making them more ashy by going over the contouring in an ashier brown eyeshadow.
You people out there give us something more than just record sales. You give us something to hate. And we hate you. You brainless mutants.
I'm doing the same thing here, but with highlighting. This sets the foundation as well. I'm using a very light nude matte eyeshadow from MAC. This part is optional, but since I have large lips, I'm using a nude lip liner just around the outer edge of my lips to make them a bit smaller. I also contour just under my lip. The color I use to fill in my eyebrows and draw the outline of Toki's mustache is taupe from NYX. For the eyebrow shape, I try to color out my eyebrows in a way that makes the pointed arch of my natural brow into a curve. One of Toki's eyes is lopsided, so I line the edge and a little bit underneath one of my eyes using taupe. Toki's mustache starts really far out, so I outline it on the farthest edge of my lips. I draw a sort of scaling triangle at the top of it. It never really bothers me if they're not exactly symmetrical. I mean, his aren't. And of course, as always, I forgot to shade my neck with bronzer.
I should be actually doing the video. Piece it apart just so it's easier to straighten. It's difficult to piece apart. I should be showing you. I can smell my straightener burning plastic. I don't know why it smells like burning plastic. Maybe that's something I should look into. So grab apart. Make sure your straightener's not on too high. It's on like 280 right now. I'm gonna lower it a bit. And then just straighten your hair. Make sure it's straight enough. It doesn't have to be stick straight, but it has to be pretty straight. Talking to myself, I'm really bored, and I talk to myself when I'm bored. You guys talk to yourself when you're bored? I sure do. Okay, you want to snip it? So it's like I'm snipping the spindliest parts off because they're annoying and not cool. Ooh, I'm so cool. So you want to snip it to about here. It basically depends on what part of the mustache that you're doing, but yeah, you're gonna snip it. You can snip it bigger or smaller. Probably wouldn't want to do it bigger. So then take the spirit gun. Open it. Yes, hello, the lighting is different because I'm using another camera, just like I did in the last video, if you noticed. The battery's gonna die. And I'll switch to another camera, but we'll go for now because I'm lazy. Anyway. So you're gonna put it on the bottom. Start from the bottom. And then you wait. It's about to get tacky if you touch it. Okay. And then you just stick her on there. And then the extra will kind of come off.
don't have to worry too much about what it looks like at this point because you will and can trim it down. And I made it gigantic. I really did, and you will see that eventually I trim it down to make it look normal. And just make sure you get under at the bottom of your chin to give it more thickness at the end because his mustache does come off his face.
Underwater friends, you are my underwater friends. Yeah, you're my best friends, now let's all cheer. You gotta come down here once a year. I pant in liquid oxygen that breathes my own pee. It tastes like blood because I had some extra coffee before. I comes down here to say, underwater friends.
Get your Toki wig, straighten it. Even if your wig comes straight, it's not straight enough. I need to straighten my wig again in this video because I've been wearing it for a couple times. But also with the bangs, we usually have created like a weft to hold them to the side instead of tucking it behind my ear, but the weft got messy so we had to take it out. The way you create that is with like a sewing needle and stuff, and I believe we'll make another video to show you how to do that, but in this video I just tucked it behind my ear. To flatten the back of the wig out, pull the section of the hair that you want in the back and brush it straight, then heavily hairspray it, especially on the sides. Then brush it out, then do that 3 or 4 times. With the hair you have in front, do the same thing to the back of it to keep it forward. I also really like using like children's detangling spray for really long wigs. I think it works really well.